It's been a loose leaf in the front. Nettleton. That's me. Let's do down by the salad gardens in that same town.
Good evening. We are going to begin the ceremony in 5 minutes. Good evening. Please rise for the procession of the 2025 graduating class of Glendale Preparatory Academy.
There it is. You may be seated. We welcome Dr. Bookout as he leads the choral anthem to start our ceremony.
See God's light on the path.
Graduates, you may be seated. Good afternoon, parents of graduates, family, friends, and faculty. Today we are gathered to recognize and honor these graduates for what they have accomplished. They have successfully completed a rigorous course of study in the liberal arts. This is yet another significant transition in their life that calls us to reflect. So let us reflect about what you accomplished over these last 4 years. Many of you have completed 2 years of calculus, some of you 4 years of a foreign language. All of you have sung in at least 2 choirs and performed in 2 plays. You have read, annotated, and discussed dozens of novels. You have studied thousands of years of history, and many of you have taken 4 lab sciences. You completed and defended your senior thesis. And this does not include your extracurricular commitments and accomplishments. You are the graduating class that is special for me, as you are the last class I taught a full year in 8th grade. So I'm going to take just a little bit of time, I talk fast, to share my heart with you. You're probably tired of me speaking about vision, but I do want to share some parting words that I think fit the theme. Maybe you're familiar with this phrase, seek and you shall find. Well, here's my version, a little bit of a twist. We tend to find what we are seeking. For the last 4 years, adults in your life had much to say regarding your seeking. We were in positions as guides, initially and intentionally hinting, suggesting, prodding, exhorting, and hopefully modeling what you ought to seek. But now you will be on your own to do your own seeking. We tend to find what we are seeking. So let me try to prove this principle. And from senior dinner, Cole and Emily, hopefully I can make an argument where I win this seminar. That's the hope. Over the years at GP, there were times when you were seeking to learn. You wanted to understand. You came to school looking forward to class and walked out finding what you were seeking, enjoyment. I'm sure there were other times where you were seeking the grind of learning. You wanted something other than understanding. You came to school and did not enjoy learning. But nothing probably changed in your external circumstance. The teacher was the same. Maybe the book, the unit was the same. But this time you just found yourself in a different result because you were seeking something different. Today you will be given a diploma, but are you leaving GP with eyes to see? I hope so. That is left to be determined. But I remember 2 specific times when I wondered if any of you could see. I remember Mr. Fuller and I presenting the poem Home Burial by Robert Frost to you in 8th grade. In this narrative poem, we see dissension, division in a marriage that appears to be falling apart. The husband and wife in the poem have lost a child. They are both grieving, but the wife cannot get over how her husband buried the child, the way he flung the dirt in the air. He could not have felt what she felt. And the poem ends with the wife planning to leave to grieve alone or with another. And the husband pleads for her to stay. Then later in the poem shows his frustration. God, what a woman. And it's come to this, a man can't speak of his own child who's dead. And then finally, in angry desperation, the husband makes a threat of force to not let her leave. It's raw and real. And I pose this question to you as 8th grade students regarding this couple who had lost a child and couldn't even speak to one another. And my question moved from the particular and subjective to the philosophical and objective. I asked, is their marriage going to last? Is there any hope for them? Can good come from this suffering? Every single one of you affirmed, no, no way. Good cannot come from this suffering. We tend to find what we are seeking. Then the last book Mr. Fuller and I discussed with you was The Chosen, Reb Saunders' Raising Danny in Silence. We posed very early in the story, is Reb Saunders a good father? Does Reb Saunders love his son Danny? Again, a resounding no from nearly all of you. It was a setup. We knew it. That's how 8th graders tend to answer that question. But again, we tend to find what we are seeking. Why could you not see it? What were you seeking to find? But on this day of celebration, I want to be gracious and encouraging. Maybe you were seeking truth, beauty, and goodness, but it was difficult to find. And I wonder if that difficulty is due to the reality of something about life I've been thinking about this whole school year. Life can be full of paradoxes. A paradox is a seemingly absurd or self-contradictory statement or proposition or principle of reality, but when investigated and examined and explained, we see a profound truth. Reb Saunders a horrible father? No. He loved his son. He loved his son so much that he was willing to break his own fatherly heart each and every time he was silent with his son, so Danny could be more than a brilliant mind. It was the only way Danny could have a beautiful soul and be a tzaddik to the world. A marriage cannot last after the loss of a child. I shared with that particular class that my second-born son, Henry, I think I showed a picture of him, right, was a result of the loss of a child. He's what they call a rainbow baby. But when I tell him that, he gets frustrated. Right? He's 14. We tend to find what we are seeking. Life poses so many paradoxes. Maybe you're familiar with some. Again, these are statements, ideas that seem so problematic and untrue. But if you have ears to hear and eyes to see, you'll see a wonderful truth. Here's some of them. It is better to give than to receive. Those who humble themselves will be exalted, but those who exalt themselves will be humbled. The meek shall inherit the earth? No way. Come on, Mr. Navarrete. Meekness brings nothing. It's seen as being soft and weak. My response would be, we tend to find what we are seeking. To gain your life, you must lose it. Another's power is made perfect in your weakness. The least among you is the greatest. To help a brother, you must first take the plank out of your own eye to see the speck in his. You can gain the whole world, yet forfeit your soul. While weeping may tarry for the night, joy comes in the morning. No way, Mr. Navarrete. You are out of your mind. That is not how I see the world and life at all. Nature is red with tooth and claw. You want something in this world, Mr. Navarrete, you take it. It's better to receive than to give. If I give to another, I lose what was mine. Why give up my life for another? You only live once. And the greatest power is not power over self, it's power over another. There is no good that can come from suffering. When I leave GP, my goal is to avoid suffering at all costs. Be careful. Do not be deceived by what the world suggests is true, beautiful, and good. If you seek falsehood, you will find it, and you'll find that you are false or fake. If you seek that which is ugly, you will find it quickly. It's easy to find what's ugly about a person, whether physical or spiritual. And we as humans have a unique way of desperately taking what's beautiful and making it ugly. If you seek evil, you will find a large crowd, for that path is wide and deep, and many take it. However, if you seek truth with your whole heart, as if it were a pearl of great price, you will find it. And that will enable you to behold a beauty that many do not discover. And lastly, that truth will set you free to live a life of goodness and find that even when times are difficult, even when trials come your way, even in suffering, all things work together for the good. Graduates, my hope is that Glendale Prep laid a sure foundation for what you should seek and how to find it. We tend to find what we seek. As you leave us, live your lives, face all that life will bring. May you find what you are seeking, and know we are always here to love, support, and guide you on the journey. We are GP. Don't chant it with me. Congratulations, class of 2025. You are dearly loved. All right, now to begin our addresses, the Academy has selected 3 graduates, 1 salutatorian, and 2 valedictorians to speak on behalf of this wonderful class. Our salutatorian is a young man who has certainly excelled in the classroom, has shown forth diligence and determination his time at Glendale Prep. Not only has he completed his academic program with excellence, but he has participated in numerous extracurricular activities and dedicates his time in service to others. However, it is his character that we have come to notice and appreciate. Mrs. Milliken Mobb shared this at the senior tribute regarding this young man's character of fully doing what he is doing, and that is rare and beautiful. Please welcome our 2025 salutatorian, Mr. Brian Rogers.
Greetings and hello to all the teachers, faculty, family, and necessarily the seniors. We happy few, we band of brothers, so wrote the playwright Shakespeare on the eve of King Henry's battle with the French on the fields of Agincourt. Though, while we graduating seniors aim not to claim a crown, but to commemorate the end of our fledgling studies, since life itself shall prove to be our greatest teacher, and we have lived but a precious few years of it, we no less stand before the beginning of the trials and tribulations which shall come to define the rest of our experiences. It is my greatest honor to stand before you all today as your salutatorian, and in reverence to that station's namesake, I shall do my best with the meager power invested in me to welcome you all from this early stage of our lives and on to the next. However, since every great odyssey has a definite beginning, I believe it would be best to first reflect on where we've come from to find, then, where we are to go. Bubble, bubble, toil and trouble, and what struggles did you all go through? From adorning a strictly regulated uniform to the ever-present demands of the curriculum, to all the extracurricular athletics and activities, and certainly not least the projects and papers, our school rightfully earns its namesake through the challenging preparatory courses you all have endured and overcome in a variety of different ways. Often, without a guiding hand, you have had to learn how to organize your own schedules, track the time, seek help and assistance, and additional instruction when needed, and many other skills, not in the least including studying habits and discipline. While we all still have a long way to go in all of these regards, I cannot help but express my admiration for each and every one of you. Despite the additional challenge of the senior thesis this year, you all have overcome adversity and persevered through the many tests life has thrown your way so far. No one said thorough work and discipline was going to be easy. In fact, I recall quite distinctly many people telling me it was going to be extremely difficult. Yes, it is because all these difficulties that I am not worried about your prospects in life, but I'm rather excited, for you have demonstrated without a shadow of a doubt that you possess the ability and determination to persevere through opposition and succeed in life. May you keep these lessons in mind as they serve us on the journey ahead. To be or not to be, that is the question, and what a question it is. For out of all that one can strive to be in life, there exists a shockingly large quantity of them. However, while the prospect of choices can be exciting, there arises the difficult task of choosing what it is one wants to actually spend their time practicing. We have limited time in this world, and I would hearken to guess few of you would like to spend it watching paint dry. Therein lies one of the greatest, though not readily apparent, strengths that our education at this school has given us. The classical liberal education which you have received has taught one very important skill: how to learn. While some of us certainly care little for the intricacies of poetry, the systems and equations of mathematics, or found themselves completely flummoxed at the ornateness of art, we are all different individuals, and thus the school has chosen to focus on providing us with samples of a wide range of subjects, rather than constraining us down to a certain set of disciplines. Granted, while one may argue that our school's utter lack of vocational options prevents us from getting a head start in a particular profession, we still lack a great deal of age and experience, lending ourselves to changing our opinions and desires often. Moreover, our curriculum not only tends to be difficult due to its preparatory nature, but also because each of our classes is designed and chosen in some way to make us think and problem solve. So, although we may not have been able to undertake classes specific to whatever passing fancy we may have once had, you all have mastered a skill which shall allow you to pursue whatever it is your heart desires out in the rest of the world. And of that, I have no doubt, you shall excel in your own capacities and interests. Returning to a band of brothers, I would like to address one more point of interest, which I've observed over the course of my time here. We're not a very large class, just below 70 unique individuals strong. We have all known each other for a long time now, some of us for an exceedingly long time at that. As such, groups of common interest were bound to form, whether they be over hobbies or clubs or any other such thing. Yet, while friend groups have come and gone over the years, I have never failed to notice how often this class seems almost like one large group, with how often you all talk and plan and laugh amongst each other, although each of us may know some better than others. Having lived and experienced such a small class size has, even without anyone noticing, taught each and every one of you how to form and maintain deep personal relationships with other people. Aside from all the knowledge in the world, or of all the trophies one can gather, at the end of the day, we all desire companionship of some form or another. Even if some of you end up never crossing paths again after walking through those double doors, your ability to socialize, to make acquaintances, and to form deep, meaningful friendships with those around you shall be a benefit for the rest of your lives. Everyone is looking for a kind face and a welcoming smile, and one of the greatest gifts this school has given has been a safe environment in which we have been able to learn how to do so freely, to be our genuine selves without the looming threat of sectional isolation, partly since, at the end of the day, who else did we have to turn to but each other? For the reasons I have listed and not listed, for indeed, even I would grow tired of hearing myself speak, I can freely say with clear conviction that if you all take the lessons you have learned from our time here at GP to heart, you shall be more than ready to take on whatever life has to throw your way. And remember, as the thespians say, break a leg.
Thank you, Brian, for your words and dedication in bringing community to our school. There are two recipients for the Academy's highest honor, Valedictorian. Both have exemplified intellectual curiosity, academic excellence, and noble character. For the first, this student does not settle for meeting expectations, but sets them for herself, her peers, and her teachers. When her mind is made, nothing will stop her. But she is not a machine. She is a caring soul with a good heart, as Mr. Roper shared this. She was instrumental in an extracurricular drama performance, running track, reading 2 books for her thesis that you could trip over, and somehow maintain friendships. Please join in celebrating the valedictorian of the class of 2025, Gabby Lee.
Well, hi. Before I start, I just wanted to say that this year has really proven to me how much I love everybody in this room right now. I am honored to be standing up here today, but in reality, I'm not standing up here alone. So congratulations to my fellow graduates, and many thanks to everyone who has supported each one of us on this journey. I'd like to first thank my parents, sister, and family for supporting and encouraging me, as well as my friends and the teachers who have become good mentors to me for these past few years. None of us could be walking across this stage today without the family, friends, teachers, and teammates who have encouraged us to succeed every day. One of the first things my mom said to me after I got the news that I was to be one of the valedictorians was, "I bet you're gonna talk about Mr. Roper or robotics." And my rhetoric class and my friends would know it's one of my favorite topics. And yes, I talk about these things a lot, but I do think there is a good reason. I spent the last 3 years of my time there building a community in robotics with other teams. I did this through a lot of Zoom meetings, failed outreach programs, and random fundraising events. However, I soon found that I had become a part of another community without even realizing it. Throughout my time here at GP, I've been a part of 4 friend groups, 2 track teams, 2 Griffin Players Cast, 3 robotics teams. That's a lot. In each of these groups, I have found people to support me and people to support in return. My robotics teammates are even here right now in the audience to support me. So hi, Alessandro, Luciano, Lex, Maddie, and Krish. Sorry, I convinced you to come here. This year, I had a feeling that my team wouldn't be making it to the state championship. It was the first time in 6 years that I hadn't gone to states, and I was utterly devastated. I spent the last 2 hours of my last ever competition crying my eyes out. But I soon realized that I wasn't crying because I was upset that we didn't do as well as we wanted. I knew that my team and I had done everything in our power to try to succeed. I was instead upset because I thought that even if I continued to come to meetings to support my sister team, Medal Masters, it would never be the same as going to states with my own team. I felt as though everything I had been working for the past 7 years had just been thrown in the trash. I was sad to leave my robotics friends and started to wonder if I had failed. However, as I sat there crying, 3 of the robotics guys were there for me. Krish, you sat with me while I cried. Lex, you tried your best to make me feel better. And Luciano, you told me that we did our best. I realized in that moment that I was not just a part of a random group of people who were throwing a robot together. Instead, I had real friends who were ready to stand next to me through the good times and the bad times, laughing and crying. I started out on this team years ago, thinking that not much would come out of this, but now I have found a group of people who I consider family. I was invited to join Medal Masters at World's Championship as soon as they won states, and they told me they wanted me there. I didn't even have to ask before they insisted I go. When I think of my robotics team, I know I'm not alone in these thoughts. We've all built up communities like this, people we think of like family, who want to support us as much as we want to support them. Anything from the basketball team celebrating another win together, or the men's choir singing about Coney Island in the gym lobby, from the Griffin players' seniors passing the torch to the juniors, or simply sitting in the senior lounge, laughing loudly enough to be heard in the hallway, we have created a community. We have people who love us and who are watching as we set out into the world with tear-filled eyes, asking us to not forget about them. They are our teams, our coaches, our teachers, mentors, families, friends, clubs, or just a group of random underclassmen. They are the ones who are laughing with you, who are crying with you, who wish you good luck, or who randomly showed up at your thesis panel cracking jokes, but ultimately wanted the best for you. In the midst of this small school, we have found belonging, and it might take a while for some of us, but we will find the people who love us unconditionally eventually. And this isn't to say that our class as a whole is not close or not connected. While we do have these friend groups, teams, and other groups, there is still something that defines our graduating class. Something about storming to the front office with a list of demands or arguing on GroupMe made me smile, even though it's a bit unusual. We are ultimately fighting for ourselves and for each other. We are willing to do whatever it takes for what we think is right. At the end of the day, we care about each other a lot. And when we are asked to look back at our time here at GP, we cannot help but start to tear up, like we did at the high school retreat. As we go on in life, I think it best if we continue these practices. Wherever you go, find that group of people, that community who would cheer at your wins and comfort you at your losses. Be willing to support them in return. Find people you consider family. But don't forget about the ones who are supporting you in high school either. Don't lose your love for the people in your life. Wherever you go, advocate for yourself and be willing to fight for your friends. We have learned through our time here as a class that it is difficult to stand up for ourselves, but it is the best option. Our love for our community must bring us to support that group through all times. A community is not a community without love. This love is not soft or weak. It is strong and it is loyal, so don't be afraid of it. Having these communities is what let us survive high school, and it is what will let us survive the next stage and the rest of our lives. As hard as it is to rely on others for support, we need these people in our lives, and they need us. Allow yourself to gain these close connections, and give yourself the chance to grow as you move on in life. We will face challenges wherever we go, but being able to face those challenges with confidence and trust in yourself will help you go far. Too often have I approached the world with fear and am left wondering, what if I had had confidence rather than fear? Since I started trusting myself and trusting that the people who were supporting me had a reason to, I allowed myself to start taking risks and stand up for myself. I no longer allowed others to walk over me, and I had accomplished goals I never thought I could, and that's not just me talking about robotics again. I could not do any of this on my own, however. So when I say that in high school, I've been a part of 4 friend groups, 2 track teams, 2 Griffin robotics casts, and 3 Griffin players casts, and 3 robotics teams, I do not mean that there were no people to support me. But it took me time to realize what kind of people I wanted supporting me in my life, and that is okay. But now I know that there are plenty of people willing to support me. And I know that there are plenty of people willing to support every one of you because this room is packed with friends, families, teammates, and teachers who are cheering you on. So trust in yourself and have confidence. Let others support you. In class of 2025, you will do great things, and I believe in all of us. But as you walk across the stage, think of everyone who has supported you and everyone who is cheering you on, whether they be in this room or not. And thank you.
Thank you, Gabby. Now to our second valedictorian. This young lady never hesitates to greet you in the halls and ask about your day. She easily engages in conversation with joy, but also seriously wrestles with ideas and questions of truth while participating in many extracurricular activities and spending probably each summer in some new program. Mr. Fuller shared that while this young lady runs fast, talks quickly, and seems to live life in overdrive, the depth of her thoughtfulness and the sincerity of her personal connections reveal she has discovered what is most meaningful in life. Please welcome valedictorian of the class of 2025, Natalie Whipple.
Thank you, Mr. Navarrete, for that introduction. And thank you, Brian and Gabby, for writing phenomenal speeches that I now have to go after. But in all seriousness, you are both incredible. Now, this wouldn't be a valedictorian speech if I didn't spend a little bit of time expressing gratitude. So, Mom, Dad, thank you so much for everything you've done to support me these tiring and expensive 18 years. My friends and little sister, thank you for bringing so much joy into my life, even if you do make fun of me sometimes. Teachers, thank you for teaching me how to take a derivative and also how to think on my own. And of course, class of 2025, thank you for making these 12 years chaotic and memorable. But truly, thank you all for giving me the honor to speak to you today. You will likely regret it. This might be a drag. You see, while you're staring at one of Glendale Prep's valedictorians, you are also staring at an 18-year-old kid who's trying to figure out her life. Tips are appreciated. The title of valedictorian does not mean I know what I'm doing. It does not mean I'm the most intelligent in the room, and it certainly does not mean that my whole life has been a story only of success. I have failed a lot. I am human, and I have had hardship. But I have made it through that hardship, and I have become better from it. Class of 2025, so have you. This moment, this room, and this stage represent the last 12 years of hardship that we have gotten through. We have gotten through Spalding. We have gotten through 6th grade Latin. We have even gotten through calculus. But moreover, we have gotten through our own personal struggles. So whether that was injury, loss, or heartbreak, I want you all to know that you are strong for moving through your hardships. Be proud of yourself, and remember that you have, you can, and you will get through the hard things in your life. The question is, how will you end up afterwards? Stronger or weaker? We are standing at the border of childhood. And as we cross that line into being adults, life is going to get more difficult. Yes, even more difficult than calculus. But you have the power to choose what you make of that difficulty. That is the message I want to leave you with. Life isn't fair, but life isn't about what is fair. It's about how you make things right with yourself. But Natalie, what are you talking about? What do you mean make things right with yourself? I'll get to that, I promise. But first, I want to tell you about this year. To be completely honest, this was probably the hardest year of my life. I mean, I thought this was senior year, the best year of high school. And then all these unexpected and difficult circumstances showed up in my life. I sat there going, come on, man. This isn't how it's supposed to go. Why is this happening to me? It happened because life isn't fair. Now, people would tell me, but you did nothing wrong, to try and make me feel better about that. And I really do thank them for trying. But it didn't quite make me feel better. Because At that moment, it didn't matter whether I was or wasn't to blame. It didn't matter what was or wasn't fair. What mattered was whether I had the power to change what happened. And when I was told you did nothing wrong, I felt like I lost that power. I felt helpless. That's when I told myself, I'm not going to be helpless or powerless. I'm not going to throw a tantrum because life isn't fair. I'm going to do something to make it better. I'm going to make it right with myself. And I did. You might know me as someone who smiles, but the reason I do, and the reason my physics class knows me as the hyper-energetic and sometimes annoying student who somehow knows the answers, isn't because I haven't had hardship. It's because I chose how to respond to that hardship, and it wasn't by letting it dictate my life. When my grandma got sick, or when people I knew moved away, I didn't drown myself in questions of, why is this happening? Instead, I spent more time with my grandma and cherished her memories more. Instead, I focused on all the ways I could stay in touch with people from a distance. I figured out how to make things right with myself. So finally, what does that mean? It means that we have to accept what happens, do something about it, and become stronger from it. The only thing you can control is yourself. So don't throw that control away. Neither people nor circumstances can dictate your life unless you let them. Don't let them. That's like letting the anchor boy steer your ship when you are the captain. If he crashes your ship, are you going to blame him? Well, maybe. But you were the one who let him steer your ship in the first place. You let that circumstance steer you into the rocks. Don't let circumstances steer your life. There's this quote by Jimmy Dean that says, I can't change the direction of the wind, but I can adjust my sails. So while you might not be able to change the difficult circumstances that blow your way, you are able to change your mindset. You are able to make things better. Life isn't fair, but if you sit there and put the fault on outside circumstances, if you sit there and blame everything else around you, if you sit there and say, I didn't succeed because this happened or that happened, then you trap yourself. You give up all your power to the anchor boy or the wind because you are directing your life with things you can't control. And I'm not saying that we should take the blame for everything. I'm not saying that everything that goes wrong is our fault. But I am saying that we can't let outside circumstances give us an excuse to sail into the rocks. I'm going to bring up one more quote, this time by Oprah Winfrey. Failure is not falling down, it's staying down. Are you going to stay down? Are you going to sit waiting like a damsel in distress for some Prince Charming to save you? Stop hoping for something to happen to you. You need to start making something happen. And let me tell you, you can make something happen. Class of 2025, you can make something happen. I believe in each and every one of you. So as we cross the line into adulthood, don't let hardships take you away from your goals. In fact, make those hardships take you to your goals. Often we see people at the peak of their success, but in reality, they went through hardship to get there. In reality, their hardship was the stepping stone to their success. But it will only be a stepping stone if you choose to step on the stone. Okay, that sounds more stupid when I say it out loud. But I mean it. You have to choose to make something out of your pain. You have to choose to make the hard and unfair things in life right with yourself. You are the only one who controls whether you stay down and fail or get up and succeed. And I say, we succeed. I know we are about to get thrown into college, into taxes, into a whole new chapter of our lives. But like Brian said, we have been prepared for that chapter. Like Gabby said, we will find people to support us in that chapter. The only thing left for us to do is to take the wheel of the ship called our lives and not let anything take it away. Then we will succeed. At this point, I was going to give you my closing remarks, but I want to first express one last statement of gratitude. I want to thank my dog, Nala, for giving me so much joy in my life, especially through the hard times. Though she is no longer with us as of almost 2 weeks ago, she will forever be in my heart, teaching me to have faith in God and in myself. So thank you, Nala, for knowing all the tricks I taught you. And thank you for reminding me that I can get through the hard times. Graduates, you can get through the hard times and become stronger from them, for you are the captain of your ship. No wind, no person, no hardship can stop you. Only you can stop you. So I ask, when unfair circumstances knock you down, will you pout about it or will you get up? When you face hardship, how will you end up afterwards? Weaker or stronger? Life isn't fair, but life isn't about what's fair. It's about how you make things right with yourself, and that's empowering. We all can succeed no matter what, and I believe we all will. So, class of 2025, slap unfairness in the face and go do something great. Thank you.
Thank you, Natalie. Graduates, to send you forth, the Academy has invited Mr. Jerome Garrison to offer this evening's commencement address. Jerome Garrison is a native of Phoenix, Arizona, where he attended Mountain Point High School prior to his commitment to Grand Canyon University, where he was a 4-year starter on the basketball team, leading the Lopes to transition to Division I, while completing his undergraduate degree in education. After graduation, Mr. Garrison signed a professional basketball contract to play with a club in Madrid, Spain, but his playing career was cut short due to health complications of his mother. Upon returning to the States, Mr. Garrison embarked on a 6-year journey serving as the athletic director of both Imagine Avondale and Glendale Prep, spending 3 years at each with the same mission: impact lives and leave it better than you found. Mr. Garrison's passion for education and sports eventually led him to move on to the collegiate level in 2022, where he currently serves as the Director of Student Athlete Development and Academics for Grand Canyon University Athletics. In this role, Mr. Garrison has direct oversight of GCU men's basketball, academics, eligibility, and career development. Mr. Garrison also plans to begin as an adjunct professor in the fall of 2025 after recently earning his MBA from Grand Canyon University in sports business. Mr. Garrison strives to make an impact in the community he serves. He puts the Lord first in his life and loves to spend time encouraging others. Mr. Garrison is married to his wife, Sydney, and they are expecting their first child in the summer of 2025. Mr. Garrison was my first non-teaching hire when I became a headmaster, but he's more than a great hire or a former colleague. He is one of my closest friends who has blessed me with words of wisdom and dedicated love for which I will be eternally grateful. It is rare to find someone younger to whom you look up, both literally and figuratively. Any goodness you have found in me as a school leader, a churchman, a husband, a father, and a friend is certainly connected to the bond I share with Mr. Garrison, and I know this senior class holds him dear as well. Please join in welcoming Mr. Jerome Garrison.
Well, Ms. Whipple, you said it best. This is no easy task. Amazing job, all three of you, to get up here and to talk to your class with such love and such conviction. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you. Great job. Class of 2025, I expect some participation in this message, so prepare yourself. All right? Good evening, Glendale Prep community. It's with great honor that I stand here before you today, not only as the former athletic director, but as someone who remains deeply connected and invested in the happenings of Glendale Prep. Glendale Prep, you changed my life. I grew up here. and I'm forever thankful for the memories and the special individuals that I met. Thank you, Mr. Navarrete, for your tremendous opportunity to speak today, and I don't take it for granted, and you know that. To the class of 2025, congratulations. This moment belongs to you. Everyone in this shared space is incredibly proud of you and looks forward to the bright future ahead. The special part of today is that it's not an ending, but yet it's an opportunity to celebrate a new beginning in the next chapter of your life. Lastly, to my beautiful wife of almost 5 years, thank you. You're my rock, a stable place, and an encouraging voice every day of my life. I am so blessed to call you my wife, and I'm excited for our next chapter of parenthood. Well, let's get right into it. The title of this message is Ready or Not, Here I Come. I like it. Thank you. For most of you, you've been at Glendale Prep since 6th grade, others, potentially since the Archway days. So today isn't just a regular graduation. This is a moment of achievement and accomplishment, different than the regular public school experience. You've grown bonds and connected with individuals on a deeper level. You have years of memories and moments that you'll cherish forever. You've had countless discussions in class, been challenged to go further with your understanding of the concept. The pursuit of truth, wisdom, and virtue, and discovery have filled your educational experience. You've discussed Plato and Aristotle. You've read Shakespeare and Homer. You've asked essential questions about what it means to live a good life and have purpose. All the homework, all the time, it was worth it. You've made it. Now the question today is, what did it take to make it this far, and what will it take to go even further? That's where a little game I like to call hide and seek can help us discover some characteristics needed to continue the journey. Anyone familiar with that game, hide and seek? There we go, participation, I appreciate you. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi. Ready or not? I love this class. Here I come. Let's say it again. Ready or not? Here I come. And for just a moment, I want each graduate in this room to focus on that proclamation. Ready or not? Here I come. That's what today is about. Today is the ready or not, here I come moment. Now, I know what you're thinking, Mr. Garrison. Did you really come here tonight to talk to me about hide and seek? Of course. It wouldn't be me if we weren't talking about a game or competition. No, but in all seriousness, there are 3 principles that we can take from a simple game of hide and seek that directly apply to your everyday life. Courage, strategy, and awareness. Graduates, tomorrow marks the first day of the unknown journey of the rest of your life. Even for those type A individuals like myself who have all their plans mapped out, trust me, there are unknowns waiting for you, and they'll knock at your door like DoorDash and Amazon. Don't be afraid. Don't be discouraged. This message is one of hope, one of wisdom. Unknowns come in many shapes and forms, but not always bad. Some unknowns can change your life for the better. Getting accepted into that college, a new job, a relationship, a car. All unknowns, but all positives. You never know, so stay ready. Courage is defined as the ability to face something that's frightening or unknown. In hide and seek, it takes courage to hide in the unknown spaces, the spaces no one else is thinking of, the space that takes creativity and patience to win. Life is the same way. If you're afraid to try something new, too scared to ask the hard questions, too nervous about what everyone else will think, you'll lose this game. Courage instills confidence. Confidence breeds results. Results breed success. Success changes your life. Courage is truly the beginning of everything. If you're sitting here today wondering how you gain this courage, don't you worry. You already have it. You wouldn't be sitting here today as a Glendale Prep graduate in approximately 5 minutes, Mr. Navarrete, if you didn't have courage. It has taken an abundance of courage to read each book, share ideas in seminar, and prepare to pass each exam. It's taking courage to compete in each game, match, or meet. It's courage that allowed you to star in the school play that people talked about for weeks. Courage to join a new club or a team, a new subject, face a new subject that you feared. You're already doing it, graduates. I just want to remind you not to take it off. You see, courage is something that should be worn like a robe. It's key in seeking what's next for you. So take a moment today and reflect on what's next. For the parts of that journey that are scaring you or giving you anxiety, claim victory over them today. They don't rule you. They don't control you. They're not as big as you think. Like I said, you're already practicing this. The key to succeeding in the next phase of life will just be more of the same. Next is strategy. After putting on that robe of courage, it's probably best you take the next step and establish your strategy. In life, strategy allows you to move boldly into the unknown. The courage gives you that oomph, but then you have to take the steps. Strategy allows you to comprehend how long you need to stay in a certain place, what surroundings are needed for you to succeed, and what's important for you to successfully handle everything well. Have you ever sat back and wondered about something as simple as the light bulb? Nowadays, we expect the light bulb to just turn on when we flick the switch. But, believe it or not, there was once a time when that concept just didn't exist. It was not a thing, like, at all. Then along came Thomas Edison with the courage and the strategy to see it through. Sure, there were many people that came before him with their many ideas, failures, blueprints, and attempts, but Thomas, he took his courage, he bottled it up with some strategy, he took note of what had worked well and what did not work well. He sprinkled in some hard work, and voila, light. Believe it or not, every one of us in this room has that same capability. Yes, parents, grandparents, staff, and of course, students. I'm talking to you. You have that same ability to bring life to your dreams. Will it happen overnight? I don't know. It could. But the only person that can make it happen is you. So tap into your courage as you prepare to pass this stage as a graduate of Glendale Prep. Then develop your strategy for what's next and attack each day like it's your last. If you do that, and you do it with confidence, I can assure you that you'll end up exactly where you're supposed to be, doing exactly what you're supposed to be doing. What's the trick to a great strategy? The key is remembering that it's specific to you. Turn off the notifications, turn on the blinders. It's not time to get wrapped up in what he's doing, what she's doing. It's time to get wrapped up in what you're doing. If you stay focused and courageous, your strategy will work. It'll lead you to each next step and will guide you when the bumps and hiccups in life come. The last important piece to an effective strategy is the ability to slow down. There's value in rest. In life, especially in today's rapid pace, we forget to slow down and just appreciate the current stage. Like today. Who thought of the concept of having someone come in, talk to you about what's next, when you literally haven't even gotten your diploma yet? You haven't even had your graduation party yet. But here we are. That's life. Like I said, you get to control how much courage you have and when you use it. Your strategy and balancing of your time is up to you. You control when you feel certain emotions and when you're ready to plan the next step of your life. And when you want to sit and just enjoy it for a little bit, do that. So learn to be the owner of your strategy, and you'll own your life. It won't own you. Lastly is awareness. The first step in having awareness is focusing on the 6 inches between your ears, your mind. Not everything is good for you. I caution you of that as I leave here today. Your mind gives you the ability to comprehend situations and determine what's best for you and what should be avoided. The message title, Ready or Not, Here I Come, could be one of negative life happenings as well. Obviously, for the purpose of today, I've chosen the positive route. But I'd be doing you a disservice if I didn't touch on the temptations and distractions that are waiting for you in life. I won't go into details, parents, but all I can say is the world is a place where awareness should be your best friend. Remember how we were talking about hide and seek? Just like the game hide and seek, and that little feeling that begins to like get on your skin and maybe the back of your mind when you know you're about to get caught or you know you're close to catching someone, well, life is kind of the same way. It'll give you those little feelings, good and bad. When something's really good for you, you're gonna know it. It'll naturally fall into place, and you'll have an awareness that's speaking to you, that's telling you, this is good for me. But when something's not right for you, could harm you, could do damage to you, you'll know that too. And you have to trust that feeling. You have to listen to that feeling. As your former athletic director and someone who cares deeply for you, I want to ask you all to do one thing for me today, if you don't remember anything else from my message. Be aware. That's it. I want to look you all in the eye and tell you, be aware. Be aware of the happenings of your life. Be aware of the people that come into your life for good and the ones that slip in to hurt you. Be aware of what's happening in your community. Be aware of what's happening on your campus. Be aware of how your family is doing. Check on them. Be aware of what's happening in the news and around the world. Just be aware. Awareness breeds knowledge. Knowledge breeds growth. Growth breeds leaders. And leaders build communities. Graduating class of 2025, I'll leave you with this. Don't hide, go seek. Seek to add value. Seek to be good people. Seek wisdom and truth. Seek to make a difference. And when leadership is needed, don't wait. Step forward and lead. Like a great game of hide and seek, life rewards those who are willing to get out of their comfort zones, venture out, and courageously pursue what matters. You see, everyone in this room, they care deeply about you and they love you. They're excited for your future, and they've already invested in the incredible talents and skills that you've been blessed with. That's something to smile at. That's something to feel good about. That's something to cherish. You're wiser. You're smarter. You're ready for this. As you search for the next step in your journey, I encourage you all to embrace courage, refine your strategy, and sharpen your awareness. If you make these 3 practices a habit, I'm most certainly confident that one day I'll be working for you. Class of 2025, it's time to tell the world, ready or not, be blessed, guys.
You guys have been so quiet. We have now come to the central moment of the evening in which the Academy will grant diplomas to the class of 2025. I have asked Mrs. Sarbacher, remember the cue? I have asked Mrs. Sarbacher to come to the podium and call the roll of the graduates. All right. Audience, this is when you absolutely should get loud when you hear the name, because you've been great.
Graduates, as your names are called, please come to the stage to receive your diplomas. Brendan Kyle Aubrey. Mason Abeku Akins. Hanish Alum. Laurel Joyce Anor. Nor Biba. Audrey Caroline Banner. Carter Matthew Blake. Sophia Maria Bonesier. Brooke Anya Calloway. Madison Dawn Caspers. Alexander James Cleland. Sebastian Alejandro Contreras. Nala Regine Costas Fabian. Emma Madeline Covington. Josiah Marshawn Kripe. Lorraine Diak. Karen Teresa DeStefano. Addison Marie Dewey. Eliason James Fleming. Lorelei Marilyn Forsyth. Caleb Michael Gilbert. Eduardo Andres Gonzalez Rodriguez. Yvette Olivia Hankish. Margaret Rosa Hawkins. Cole Thomas Hebert. Ava Grace Jansen. Emily Hope Cantor. Isabella Grace Kempton. Casey Kim. Kylie Marie King. Alexis Dawn Krieger. Geneva Ling Kwan. Gabby Marie Han Lee. Abigail Marie Mahoney. Sebastian Caleb Melendez. Redden Porter Mendez. Logan Michael Middendorf. Joystina McHale. Ervis Alorn Molitor. Allison Ryan Moore. Sophia I. Nakachi. Cooper Darby Nichols. Asher Vincent Park. Leonardo Stephen Patera. Perna J. Ravi. Joshua David Ricky. Alejandro Ramon Rodriguez. Jonathan David Rodriguez. Brian Dwight Rogers. Brendan Edward Sapp. Marissa Grace Shepard. Roslyn Jewel Silka. Josiah Benjamin Sims. Ethan James Smith. Maddox Elias Smith. Senna Corinne Smith. Samuel Lucas Stonka. Sophia Elena Swinford. David Palici Telleton. Paul Jeffrey Thompson. Marin Elisa Toronto. Liam Jackson Trujillo. Victoria Elizabeth Wiseman. Judah Samuel Wetstein. Natalie Yulin Whipple. Kennedy Hope Woldridge. Graduates, please stand. Graduates, please move the tassels on your caps from the right to the left. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in honoring these graduates of Glendale Preparatory Academy, class of 2025.
You may be seated. It's interesting with how jubilant you were. You may be seated. It makes me think we need to reorder this because that was just great. But we have a few more things, sorry. Graduates, to bring the faculty exhortation, the Academy has invited not just one teacher, but two. Two individuals who are personally special to me in that one of them was my team lead when I first came to Glendale Prep over 10 years ago. And the other was my first teacher hire, and what a hire she was. They were strangers, but GP and love brought them together. And so we will have one faculty exhortation from two beloved members of our community. Please show your gratitude and warm welcome for Mr. and Mrs. Maratea.
All right, it's one speech that we'll both deliver, so don't worry about it. It's not going to be twice the speech. Yeah. Graduates, it is with great honor that we stand before you today to send you off into the world as alumni from Glendale Prep. Between the two of us, we have taught nearly all of you in your 7 years of education here. We too are leaving, but in many ways, we share a rooted fixity through our communal education. It is the roots that we would like to return to today. As some of you are probably familiar with the readings those of you have done in your rhetoric class, Mortimer Adler is something like the intellectual architect of our school. So we thought it was fitting today to return to some of his ideas concerning education to help us reflect on what it is that we have done here, and perhaps give some of you a better way of understanding what we have been engaged in all these years. While we cannot replace your lived experience of 13 years of formal education with the concept of what your education ought to have been, we hope that the ideas of Adler will aid you as you depart from our school and begin your next chapter.
First, we want to ensure that you have an understanding of what it is that you have accomplished so far, namely, that you have been introduced to a world of learning. Adler says, if your education so far has given you the skills you need to go on learning, skills that also help you to use your mind creatively, and if it has inspired you with a zest to use these skills to the utmost of your ability, then it has done for you as much as you have any right to expect. Your schooling ought to be preparation for vocations that are common to all: earning a living, citizenship, and pursuit of leisure. Yet, we must confess, your learning at Glendale Prep was only the beginning. We agree with those who interpret the Declaration of Independence's pursuit of happiness as one that involves a pursuit of virtue and excellence, and not a mere recommendation of hedonism. In this regard, your learning is both a foundation and an invitation for a future challenge. Adler makes this challenge clear in articulating how we can gauge our lives. He reminds us whether in the years ahead you take advantage of the education you have received depends entirely on you. It will depend on the choices you make with regard to the activities or occupations that fill the free hours of your life. The chief ingredients of a life well lived are the activities of learning and of creative production. These two things, learning and creativity, constitute leisure, in sharp contradistinction to play, recreation, and idling as other ways in which human beings fill their free time. A good human life is one that is enriched by as much leisure as one can cram into it. The stance one takes to life matters, and we invite you to live strenuously. As teachers at a liberal education institution, we believe that we not only teach through our lessons, but also as models of possible human lives. We both have attempted to imitate our excellent teachers, and we hope that you will continue to seek out lives worth emulating to help you make a life worth living.
Understanding the challenges that you have ahead, our greatest hope is that you cultivate a vitality of the mind. Adler again. The mind is a living thing, and like any other living thing, there are certain indispensable conditions of its vitality. If the body is to be kept healthy, alive, and in repair, it must have food and exercise regularly. What is true of the body is true of the mind. The mind unfed weakens, just as the body does. The mind not sustained by the continual intake of something that is capable of filling it well or nourishing it shrinks and shrivels. And the mind unexercised, like a muscle unused, atrophies, grows weak, becomes almost paralyzed. Hence, just as we know that we cannot support the life of the body this week on the basis of last week's feeding, so we ought to realize that we cannot support the life of the mind this week on last week's reading, much less last year's reading, or the reading done in school. Graduates, continue to read, think, write, compute, and everything else we have taught you to do with your minds. Glendale Prep is only the introduction to a life of learning. Above all, we hope that you leave here having learned how to learn, or, as Dr. Robert Maynard Hutchins, a close friend of Mortimer Adler and a former president of the University of Chicago once said, "Get ready for anything, because anything is what's going to happen." Congratulations, class of 2025.
Thank you, Marateus, for your genuine care and wise perspective all of these years. While you will not be with us next year, you are always Griffins. We now come to the final tradition of the ceremony, the singing of our school song. Graduates, you were just moments ago below, looking up at us on stage, but we now share the stage. You are no longer students, but you are now alumni, even if it's only been for a few minutes. There is no greater joy to an educator than when the students we have taught cherish the lessons. Our minstrel boy and his song reminds us of the lessons of courage, beauty, fraternity, freedom, dedication, dignity, and sacrifice. We welcome you now to stand and sing this song in unity for the last time together. Thank you. Family and friends of the graduates, thank you for years of sharing these beautiful souls with us. You as parents, your choice to partner with us is what makes Glendale Prep a wonderful community. We are excited to send forth these young men and women as graduates of our academy. Have a wonderful evening and a restful summer. Good night.